I realized I've been oversharing on a particular matter, or will I say a particular incident that had happened to me. I didn't even know I was oversharing until the whole emotion started playing in my head and I started feeling so bad about it. You have to stay and listen to this week's episode to hear the gist and how I feel and the lessons that I learned from it. So, hello, welcome to this week's episode of Eunice Journal. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, you're welcome. My name is EuniceJOURNAL, and on here is where I drop the things that I do on becoming a better version of myself. It's 2026 and I made that choice to become more intentional about my growth. So if this is your first time, please kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I drop a video every Thursday. So that being said, let's dive into the things that I did this week and the lessons that I learned. So for the gist about what happened to me and the lessons that I learned, I realized that I was oversharing when it was already late for me, because there's no way I will go back to go and tell those people that I've told about the particular issue. It's not like I'm not aware. I'm aware that I am not supposed to share those informations to my friends. And actually my friends, they do mean well when they listen and they give their own honest opinions about the particular case. They do mean well. But the fact that I was telling them was the part that pained me more than the incident that had happened. So what happened? A few weeks ago I started having issues with my friend and I didn't know what I did to this person to deserve the kind of treatment that I got from the person. So instead of me to be quiet about it and calm about it, I just decided to I started telling whoever cared to listen. It was very bad of me. Before I knew it, I had already told a large amount of people. I already told them about it, and with the way they were giving me opinions and options, the more opinions you give me, the more I feel unsatisfied, and I want to tell another person. Although their response to that particular issue, it was kind of linked. Like, will I say? Most of them had almost the same thing to say. Yeah, most of them had almost the same thing to say. Even when I was supposed to stop, realize that, oh, you're going too far with this. I did not stop. I continued until I don't know what I was searching for, but I just continued. So as a lady who has said that I want to become a better version of myself, I want to be more intentional about myself, I want to be responsible for my decisions and my emotions and all of that, I started feeling like I have deviated from that goals, from that vision a few days ago. That's when I realized that, oh, this is what I had done. Now, instead of me to snap part of the whole thing and continue with my life and continue with my routines and daily habits, you wouldn't believe what happened. So instead of me to snap out of it, I delved deep into the emotions. I started feeling regret. I started feeling, I don't know, the main issue that was supposed to be paining me was not the one paining me. I started regretting the fact that I had done this. I have overshared. I have taken in so much advice at that particular time. And I even became kind of, would I say sick? I don't know if that was the reason I was sick though, but maybe because I was overthinking about it. And before I knew it, I was sick. I was no longer listening to the podcast that I was supposed to listen to. I didn't listen to the podcast, and even my prayer drained, like my prayer life went down because I was thinking too much about it, that, oh, what have I done? So until after draining myself in that whole emotions, then all of a sudden I started talking to myself. And that's where the whole podcast I've been listening to come in. I had to remember the ones that have been stored in me. It's like, will I say, the lessons that I have been learning that are stored in my mind, they were now the ones that were helping me, because I was not listening to a new one, a new message or a new podcast that was going to help me come out of that whole thinking and that situation. I don't know how it happened. I just snap out of it. I started talking to myself, started telling myself, this is not the best way to do. You have made a mistake, okay, yes. Oh, so draining myself in these thoughts, is that the best option that I have? When I started speaking to myself, I realized that I have to give myself the grace. It is okay for me to to make mistakes on this journey. I'm not perfect. It is okay for me to make mistakes, and in the things that I said I was not going to do, I was going to stop doing. It's okay for me to make mistakes, and I will learn from it. It's not like it's okay that I overshared. It is okay that I made that mistake of oversharing, and it is okay that I felt the way I felt, and it is okay that I learned my lesson, and now I apologize to myself that I am sorry I overshared. I am sorry I fell into that trap. And honestly, if I don't fall into this trap, if I don't see it, like if I don't get this testing, I see it as a test of my habits, rituals, and all the things that I've been learning. If I don't get this testing, like how am I going to become a better person? That is now the light that I decided to see it as. I decided to see it as, okay, this is it. This is a test, and this is to show that there is growth. For the fact that I was able to wake myself up from that imagination, or will I say from that emotions, and I stopped myself from making further decisions from a place of emotion. I want to be responsible for the decisions that I make. For the fact that I was able to do that, it shows that there is growth. There is an emotional growth because I'm now more self-aware. I'm now more responsible for my mistakes and my decisions and all of that. So, if like assuming I've not been listening to this podcast that tells you about oversharing and self-awareness and growth, all of that, I think I would have still been wallowing in the thought by now, honestly, or maybe probably seeking for someone that's going to comfort me. Yeah, I think that's what I would have been doing. So this is me using this little message to tell you that it is okay for you to make mistakes on your journey of becoming a better version of yourself. It is okay for you to feel like you have deviated from what you said you're not going to do. But what is more important that is that you learn your lessons and make corrections and continue on your journey on becoming a better version of yourself. So that is what I want to tell you about the feeling that I felt this year. Because if not, if like assuming I did not jump out of that feeling or other emotions, I would have made it a more terrible mistakes that I would end up regretting much more than I regretted the fact that I was oversharing. So that being said, let's move to the things that I did this week. Although I am a little bit excited about the things that I did this week, and I'm also sad about the things that I did this week. I'm excited because my habit rituals, there are some milestones that I crossed this week. I'm sad because in my habit rituals, I ended up not doing a lot. Let me say a lot. You will find out the part that I did not do and the milestones that I crossed in this video. So over to the first thing that is on my routine, or will I say that the first thing on my habit ritual list, that is taking water. This is the most consistent thing I've been doing for the past, it's almost 4 months now. I took 60 cl of water throughout this week from Monday to Saturday, and it's already like I can't do without taking water in the morning when I wake up. Let me tell you the reason why. There's a secret to this thing, like the reason I can't skip taking water. There's a particular podcast that I listened to. I think I saw it from Jay Shetty's podcast, when he talked about the fact that if you want to do something the next day, you should make preparations for it the previous day. For example, I want to be a person that works out, that goes for morning run or morning walk or morning exercise. He said you should make sure that your outfit for the exercise is already prepared for the next day, so that it will be the first thing that you see when you wake up in the morning. So what I usually do is that I make sure that I keep exactly 60 cl of water beside me or close to me when I wake up. That is it, like, let me say, one of the first things that I see in the morning, so I cannot escape drinking the water. Okay. And also, it's not only Jay Shetty page that I saw that particular thing. I also watched the particular vlog from Winnie. She was going to work out the next day, and she made sure that she ironed her clothes that she was going to wear to the gym the next day. in the evening of the previous day. She made everything ready, and the next day it was easier for her to just put on the outfit and move over to the gym. So that is one way to get used to something, to get that is one way to maintain a particular routine. If you want to become a better version of yourself, or if you want to keep to a particular routine, it is first being intentional about preparing that particular thing the previous day against the next day. So I took 60 cl of water throughout this week from Monday till Saturday. The next thing that is on my routine is praying. This is the part that I said I hit a milestone. For two times this week, I prayed for 1 hour, 3 minutes for two times. Give me a round of applause. Give me a round of applause right now in the comment section. For two times this week, I prayed for 1 hour, 3 minutes, and for once I prayed for 1 hour. Then I think one was 55 minutes and the other was 20 minutes and 38 minutes. First of all, I was talking about the fact that I was wallowing in regrets of what I had done. Because of that reason, you can see how bad it is. Because of that reason, I didn't even have the morale, or would I say, I didn't even have the mind to pray when I woke up. But I struggled for that 2 days that I prayed for 38 minutes and 20 minutes. But I'm still glad that I was able to pray regardless. I didn't skip my prayer because of what I was going through. But on Saturday, I was able to like pray myself out of the whole situation, because on Saturday I was not able to pray for 1 hour, 3 minutes. So to the part of the podcast that I listened to, I'm sad about this particular one, because I don't know how to tell myself that this week I listened to podcasts for just 3 days, and the remaining 3 days I was wallowing in regret. I don't know. I was wallowing in regrets, and I could not listen to podcasts for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday it was not regret that caused that, because Saturday I think I was extremely occupied and I was so tired, and my phone was also giving me headache. I just dumped it and just continued what I was doing. I think I slept. That was what happened for Saturday. But for Thursday and Friday, I don't think that's an excuse, but that was what happened. I was wallowing in regret and I did not want to listen to anything. But for Monday, I listened to Jay Shetty and how to stop feeling behind, and three main reasons I will feel behind. I'm not going to give you word for word what he said, but I'll just tell you the things that I picked from his podcast. The thing that resonated well with me was the fact that we were sold a timeline that does not exist. The fact that everybody keep marking time in Nigeria, or let's say in African homes, people keep marking time. At a particular age, they are telling you you need to be married, you need to have kids, you need to do some certain things. You need to be earning some certain amount of money at a certain age. And that is the first pressure that we put on ourselves as human beings, if you ask me. Because your mindset, you're already saying that at this age, I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be maybe married or whatever that you want to do with your life. You end up comparing yourself to your age mates that are bigger than you. That is what happened, because you have been sold a timeline that does not exist. Some people become wealthy in their early 20s. Some people become wealthy in their early 30s. Some become wealthy in their 40s. Some become wealthy in their 50s. Everybody has a different purpose and different assignment and different reasons why they were created on this planet Earth. So for me personally, I do not see reasons why I should compare myself to people that were born differently, to people that God created with their own specific purpose. And he mentioned something that resonated with me again. We end up comparing our internal capabilities to people's external results. You see, let me give you the instant. For example, you see a friend of yours that maybe you people went to school together, and the person is already doing so well for themselves. They are married, they have kids. That is their external results. You as a person, you don't know what they are going through internally. You don't know what they are doing to have that result that they have. You do not know. But you now, as a human being, you start comparing yourself. Now you're not comparing your result to their result, you're comparing your process to their result. Sit down and ask yourself this question sometimes when you find yourself comparing yourself to them. Ask yourself, do I even know what they're going through? Do I know their own purpose? Do I know what God has made them to be? I want you to know today that that timeline that they have placed on us is a false timeline. The Bible said, when the time is right, I will make it perfect. I think it's something like that. So, do not give yourself headaches. Just do the ones that you can. Enjoy the moment and stop having anxiety for the future that does not even exist. So there are so many other things that Jay Shetty gave out in this particular podcast. I think you should go listen to it at if you want to feel less pressured about life, about the whole thing, about the whole process. I think you should go listen to it. So the next podcast I listened to was Myron Golden. And you already know who Myron Golden is because I mentioned it in my last video. It was teaching us, it was teaching me, not us right now, because I was watching it alone. You were definitely not there. So the topic was how to make millions from social media. I know that topic is enticing, but that was not really how it is. Like, it was how to make millions from social media without having followers. So what I picked from the Mario Godin's podcast about how to make millions from social media, it's not really, will I say, it's not really how it sounds. That's the way it is. That it's not actually the way it sounds. For those of us that like creating content, if you're watching me and you're a content creator, there's one truth I want you to know right now. Is the fact that there is nothing like being shadow banned. It's common in the other app, the TikTok app. It is common when people say that, oh, I've been shadow banned. It is not true. You are not shadow banned. The only reason you're feeling like you've been shadow banned, or the only reason your videos or my videos are not going viral either. The reason all my videos are not going viral is the fact that I've not been able to learn how to tell my stories very well, maybe to hold people to my page so that when they listen to my story they will want to stay and watch. And because if your videos are kind of hooking, like will I say are interesting, the way you talk about the topics that you're talking about, if you say it properly, if you say it well, that it will be interesting, people will want to watch, and the algorithm has no choice than to push your videos, because normally these apps, they need people to use it so that they can make their money. So if we do not use it, they won't make their money. So they don't have the time to be shadow banning you. That was like what I picked from the podcast I listened to on Myron Godin. And the third podcast that I listened to for the week was Calway. I think that's how to pronounce his name. His name is Calway. He's a new person. And I was trying to learn how to tell the stories better, how to hook people to my page to watch my videos so that my videos can go viral. Yeah. As a creator, as someone that makes videos, if it your video is not going viral, is one reason you feel down, you feel like you're not putting in enough effort. Yeah, you might want to even give up if you're not confident in yourself, or if you're not patient enough, you might even give up along the line. So that is it for the podcast that the video that I listened to on that's the third podcast that I listened to. That was, he was just giving out hooks. If you want to see the video, you can go and search Calway, Kawlaway. That is his name. You can go listen to him. So that's all for the podcast that I listened to. For the remaining days, I did not listen to any podcast. I'm sorry. I'll do better next week. Hopefully, I will. So I did not forget to read my Bible. I did not forget to read my Bible. I've been studying my Bible. Even when I was wallowing in my self pity or whatever in the thing I was going through, I did not forget to study my Bible. I'm still studying the book of Job, and all I can say is that there's something that Job said. Job said, "When God has tested me, I will come out pure as gold." He knows that God was testing him, and for his friends, I've decided to give up on his friends. I've given up on Job's friends. I just hope that I don't find those kind of people, those kind of friends around me, because for me, I don't know if you have other options, other opinions about Job's friends, but for me, my own opinion still remains that Job's friends are not good people. Sorry to say. So I'm still studying the book of Job and I want to see how the story ends. Once the story ends, I'll tell you more about it. And for this week, I still did not forget that I did forget the fact that I had to say thank you. So throughout this week, I made sure that I said thank you to people that I came across, people that helped me, people that I bought something from. I made sure that I said thank you to them. Even when I was sick, yeah, I was a bit sick this week too. When I was sick, my friends that cared for me, I made sure that I told them thank you. And also my friends that I was blabbing to, I told them thank you too for their opinions. Anyway, don't take it the wrong way. If you're my friend and you're seeing this video right now, do not take it the wrong way, please. That is all I can say. All right, I think that is all for this week's episode of becoming a better version of myself. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode as much as I did while filming it. And make sure if you have watched to this point, please make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I post a video every week. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.